Welcome to Slowpoke Travel. I'm Camera Girl, and Buck is behind the camera today. We wanted to talk to you about taking a bus to get from city to city in Mexico. We have been having a fantastic time. This is our third bus ride with ETN bus line. And oh, the camera guy is reminding me, you have a great view for this video. We're gonna have to take it away from you. So this is our third bus ride with ETN. We took the first one from Puerto Vallarta to Guadalajara. We took one from Guadalajara to Morelia, and now we're going from Morelia back to Guadalajara. It's longer than a flight, but it's so comfortable. But we thought a visual might help. This third trip is the first time there's only like 6 people on the bus. That's not our previous trips experience. But so we thought we wouldn't be bugging people too much. Everybody's got their headphones in. This is an ETN bus. Let me just start by showing you what you got. Look at all this space! Especially Buck, who on a lot of flights, his knees are bumping up against here. Lots of room. This is like a recliner for your feet. Now granted, if you have somebody behind you, you might not go quite this far, but it's pretty great. You have Wi-Fi. It can be a little spotty, you can imagine, especially like from Puerto Vallarta to Guadalajara. We went up into the mountains, but they really have tried to add some features that make a longer ride nice. Besides all the legroom, besides the little cup holder, so you've got places you can charge your phone, this kind of charge, a regular outlet for some other things, and sometimes you have to hunt around, but all three of the flights, all three of the trips, they've had ways that you can charge things. Now, just like on a flight, sometimes we've been sitting in a couple of seats where neither of the chargers work. You know, so you don't want to totally rely on it, but it is really nice. And then they give you headphones. I think Buck's got both of them over here, which again, it's like a flight. You might want to bring your own, but screen, you can listen to books on tape, you can listen to music, there are games. So that's sort of comparable to a lot of flights that you take right now as well. Oh, Buck is going right to the food. So another feature is on the ETN line, as well as a couple of the other luxury lines, you get a snack. And, you know, that's similar to a flight. So you can choose a bottle of water or some soda, and then you get a little snack that's all packaged up for you, individually packaged. Now this one we've never received before. The last 2 trips we got just a sandwich, a piece of meat and cheese. Bread was fresh, it was fine. This happens to be a mini muffin and a little thing of yogurt, cute little spoon. And a napkin. But again, it's just a nice feature, especially for a bus ride. Now, the other thing that's a little different on this one is, let me say this, we're sitting in the middle of the bus. If the world is perfect, you want to sit in the front of the bus, because look at that view. You can get up there and there's, as you can see, 2 seats on one side, 1 on the other. It's fantastic. It is worth doing. Even if you get a little motion sickness, I think it's worth it so that you can see that much more. You have a bathroom because it's a longer flight. It's like a flight bathroom. Buck will probably show it to you. One thing about making reservations that, again, maybe it's because I don't have a lot of good Spanish yet. Some of the bus trips say there's a double-decker bus, and some say a single. Even if they say it's a single bus, it's single, it's not married. Even if they say it's a single floor, get the front seat. We thought this was the first one that said it was a single-decker, not a double-decker. And so we thought, oh, we're going to be behind the driver, we won't have a view. Well, that wasn't right, but that is a tip that when you're making your reservations, and if it says double-decker or single-decker, consider the front. Really consider the front. It's great. And you can make your reservations sometimes as late as like a week before, and those are still available. A lot of people will make their reservations the day they're taking off. Let me just talk a little bit about that. So we did some research, and the buses looked like they were going to be an okay route. And you can make your reservations online. ETN has a pretty good website. Most everything translates so that you can figure it out. And you do save money if you make your reservation online. Probably about 60 pesos per ticket. One reason we don't do that, in both Puerto Vallarta and Guadalajara, we thought we understood where the bus station was. From Google Maps, looking at a few blogs, we thought we had the address. The short version is, in both those cities, we took a test run because my Spidey boy said, I'm not sure. Both times let's just say we had a day of adventure, and it worked out okay, but we were glad it wasn't the day we were catching a bus. Some places that are marked as what you think is a bus station, the way it translates, is not. Number two, in Guadalajara, it's a little difficult, even on ETN's site, to tell what of its 3 bus stations you're booking from. One says Guadalajara, one says Guadalajara 7, one says something else. And 2 of them are actually in a nearby suburb. So instead of buying online, because we're not familiar with the area, and because we're not great at the native language, so we can't call up and go, hey, we're trying to buy a ticket online, this is what we want. We basically take a test run and we go to the bus station, make sure we know where it is, and then we take an Uber the day that we're traveling from where we're staying to the bus station. Those of you that might be a little older, like us, you might have seen in movies the trips with a goat or a chicken or more, and no air conditioning. And we might take one of those trips at some point. You can tell this is not it. It is definitely air conditioned, really comfortable, which was nice when we came from Puerto Vallarta to Guadalajara. Even though it was early morning, it was already like 70-something degrees. It was humid, which wasn't terrible, but it was nice to get on the bus. It was nice and cool. But anyway, the bottom line is, if you're considering a multi-city trip to Mexico and you're not really interested in driving and you're thinking, yeah, I can fly, but are there any alternatives? We consider the bus a very nice alternative. You can ruminate about where you've been. You can speculate about what you're going to do about where you're going. And there is some gorgeous, gorgeous countryside. We've seen blue agave fields. Blue agave is what they use to make great tequila here, mezcal, anyway, some other stuff. When we went from Puerto Vallarta to Guadalajara, we went up through the mountains, and you saw all these different pueblos. It was just gorgeous, and then you'd look out, and there would just be hills and green, and it really is a great way to see different parts of Mexico. And if you have friends or family that get worried about you, another thing you can tell them is the luxury bus lines take routes that are basically policed. You do see police presence. It's taking routes that are considered safer. So again, if you have family or friends, for us, we're from the U.S., and you go to our State Department site, and they'll say, "Ooh, be careful about this, that, and the other." They basically are taking you routes that are safe. So if you're considering a multi-city trip to Mexico, definitely do it. We've only been to 3 places so far, and we're heading to a 4th, Lake Chapala, and we have enjoyed every bit of it. The people are amazing. The food is fantastic. Buck loves that the US dollar is going a little further so he can enjoy his food more. And depending on what experiences you've had with a bus, you might think, this is a great ride. If you've had experiences with some of the bus lines, definitely let us know. We looked at a few different ones that are considered luxury, but bottom line is, we have really enjoyed it. And whatever way you decide to explore and travel, have a great time. But this has been like a nice little guilty pleasure. It's comfortable. You get to just lay back, enjoy the ride. So hope this has been helpful. If you've had some of those experiences on luxury bus lines in Mexico, please let us know your experiences, because we will probably be doing this more often. Thanks for watching, and adios from Slowpoke Travel.